Cuba! It's me, Elian Habanero, and guess what? This is episode 6 of The Willow Show! Now, if this is your first time watching, Willow stands for Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling, and I'm so happy to be here! Now, I want to say, tomorrow, my next episode, episode 7, to celebrate a 1-week anniversary, we are having viewer questions. I've got a couple so far on some of my Twitter and Facebook. Keep sending them in. Tomorrow, I will be answering viewer and fan questions on this show. But for today's show, now, I've been trying to watch as much wrestling because 1, I love wrestling, and 2, this show is about wrestling. So I'm going to try and watch as much wrestling as I can, and I'm going to try and tell you what I think about it. Let's have a good time talking about, what is it again? Yes, wrestling! So, I have not watched Impact Wrestling in a long time. I'm ashamed to admit it. I don't have a lot of time. But I watched Thursday's episode. It was my first time seeing a lot of fresh faces on there. I'm happy to see they have the 6-sided ring, which is perfect because this is episode 6. I like the 6-sided ring is back. It just makes them unique. I see Conan is back. Brother Love is back. El Patron is there. A lot of people. There's some new guys that I haven't really seen. The thing that makes me the most proud and happiest is Ontario Wrestling, which my heart is all about, was represented so well. We have Angelina Love, Ali, Braxton Sutter, Rosemary, Crazy Steve, Ontario, definitely holding it down in the house on Impact Wrestling. Now, I was happy with most of the matches. I was not happy with their choice of the main event segment. It would have been better to see a big match or something, but I guess there's somewhere going with this story. I want to be a Perry positive. Perry positive. But I have to say, a couple things I didn't like was, 1, the announcing. I don't mind the Pope or Jeremy Borash. The other guy drives me nuts, and trust me, I don't get driven nuts easy because I have to listen to myself talk all the time, so it's hard for me to get driven nuts. But the other guy drives me nuts. The thing that bothered me the most was, what is with the owl? What does that have to do with anything to do with wrestling? If I turn my TV on and I see an owl, the only reason I want that to be is because I'm watching Winnie the Pooh with the cameraman. And even then, it's like my 5th or 6th favorite character. I don't want to see an owl on TV. But other than that, it's a good show. I'm going to continue watching on a weekly basis and keep giving reviews. Make sure you guys ask me questions or tell me what you think about the show, and we'll go through it together and have fun talking about wrestling. Now, speaking of Impact Wrestling and Ontario and putting that all together, folding it up in a nice pretzel and tuck it away in the oven, we got some events in Ontario tomorrow. Now, tonight is the Lucha Slam that I talked about and the BCW. But tomorrow, we have 3 events representing Ontario Wrestling. Now, one of them is Smash Wrestling, 5 p.m., London, Ontario, and a lot of those people that I just talked about from Impact Wrestling will be, I believe, driving, maybe flying, but making their way to Smash, London, Ontario, to participate in this show called Show Us What You Got. We got Davey Richards versus Braxton Sutter. We got a triple threat with Tyson Dukes, Tyler Turba, and Cody Deaner. We also got Angelina Love doing some kind of meet and greet thing. We got Rosemary versus Casey Spinelli, Colt Cabana versus Scotty O'Shea. It should be a great time. The people of London, no, I do not mean London, England. Let me just make sure to say London, Ontario. Get out there at 5 p.m. Check it out. Tell me what you think. And then we can talk about it together. Now, also, 5 p.m. in Ontario. This time, Hamilton, Ontario, Courage Pro Wrestling, I believe, is a new federation that's starting up, and they are having an event to promote their upcoming show in April. There will be comedy, live music, you can meet the wrestlers, maybe get an autograph or a picture or two, and buy tickets for the upcoming event. That's at 5 p.m., Hamilton, Ontario. Be sure to go down there if you're in the area. We also have another event, Big Sunday, and it's not Super Bowl Sunday, it's Ontario Indie Wrestling Sunday. We also have Destiny, Mississauga, Ontario, 7:30 p.m. The main event is the pride and joy of Ontario, one of the best wrestlers in the province, in Canada, in the world, Josh Alexander versus, here comes that Impact Wrestling again. What a connection, eh? All the dots are getting connected so easy. From Impact Wrestling, Moose, and this, the main event, is a steel cage match. And we also have, for you, special guest from BCW. He's going all the way from Windsor up to Mississauga. Billy Gunn will be in the house. We also have RJ City, Psycho Mike Rollins. It's gonna be a good show, everybody. Make sure to go if you're in the area. Tell me what you think. Now, there's another thing I want to talk about. Mr. Old School, Ontario's senior referee, official Eddington James, Jim Connolly on Facebook, whatever you want to call him. I got something to talk to you about, mister. And I know you used to work in the schools and be a teacher or principal, and you used to lecture those kids. Well, now it's Cuba's time to lecture you. Now, mister, it was raining. It was pouring. Old School was snoring. He fell out of bed and bumped his head, and he couldn't count 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And where I'm getting at is, you're getting a little forgetful in your old age, Old School, and you seem to have forgotten this at the last appearance you made. Now, I'm just gonna shimmy this off. Don't worry, I showered today. I love showering. Okay, now look at this, Old School. I bet you're cringing right now. Now, this shirt is now Cuba. I'm not a ref, but I rock it good. This now belongs to me. And I'll tell you what, you want this shirt back? Fine. But only if you accept my special challenge. This is the offer. I challenge you to a bowling contest. Now I know you retired from bowling, but this is the thing. You gotta make a comeback. Everybody wants to see Old School on the lanes again. So I challenge you to a game of bowling. And this is what happens. If you win, I give you your shirt back, which I know is so precious to you. Oh, yeah, and you need to wash that shirt when you get it back if you win. And not only that, so if you win, you get your shirt back, but I will also throw in this. I know you asked for it for Christmas and everything. I will throw in my I Love Wrestling Elian Habanero shirt for you as well. That's if you win. Now, if somehow I win, and by the way, you can buy these from me if your name is not Old School. So make sure to, I tell my cameraman not to be a follower, but it's okay to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, and hit me up if you want to buy one of my shirts. But if I win, Old School, not only do I get to keep this ref shirt and the shirt I'm selling, but you have to make a special appearance on the Willow Show, and you must eat cat food. Yes, you heard me right. You must come on this show if you cannot pull as many strikes as me and eat cat food. Let me know if you accept the challenge, Mr. Senior Official of Ontario. Now, folks, this has been episode 6 of The Willow Show. And remember, I love wrestling. That's why it's tattooed right here on my arm. Send in those viewer questions. Tomorrow it's going to be a big show. And one more thing. Don't let me forget. Not this time. Like, or you'll get a leg drop. Comment, or you get the clothesline. Subscribe, or you get the suplex. And make sure you follow me on social media. This is The Willow Show, episode 6. I love wrestling. Elian Habanero, Cuba!